In this video, I'll walk you through the process of hiring a car in Sydney. So if you are visiting Sydney and you want to hire a car, this video is for you. We're going to take an example of an online booking and then going to the rental to take the car. But by and large, the process is the same even if you walk in to a rental outlet. So let's get on with it. So let's go ahead and book a car. But before booking a car online, let's go through the rules. So if you are in Sydney, it means the state laws which actually apply to you are NSW. So the Sydney is an NSW state of Australia. So you need to go to rms.nsw.gov.au. I'm putting a link of this site in the description because rules keep on changing. As of 2021, if you are a tourist or an overseas visitor, you can drive in Sydney or in NSW with your current license as long as you are on a temporary visa, which is work permit or any visitor visa, and you have a current overseas license. And if your license is not written in English, you must carry an English translation or an international driving permit. So if you have a license which is in some other language like Hindi, you need a translation certificate or international driving permit. But my experience is if you have a license which is in some other language or is not in a card format, then many car rentals do not give you a car. So always have a digital license which is in form of a card to be on a safer side. Now let's go ahead and straight away book a car. Now I'm not going to go through every site, so the best way is just Google car rentals wherever you are, and then it'll show you a bunch of websites. Just go to them and see which one is the cheapest and try to book from there. My personal advice will be book so if you are first see where you're living and which is the nearest car rental for you, because these also have some operating hour restrictions. Some allow you to return a car of hours and some don't. So like for example, I think Avis does and Hertz doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of how to book a car from Hertz. Go to car hire Hertz and start your journey. So in my case, I live in Parramatta, so pickup location will be Parramatta downtown. Now return location can be any, but if you choose a location other than the location from where you picked up the car, they will charge you a convenience fee which is pretty high. So unless you have a requirement wherein you're driving from Sydney to Melbourne and you don't plan to come back to Sydney, so that will make sense that you choose a car rental which is there in Melbourne as well as in Sydney, and then you drop the car. Otherwise, it's better to choose the same location. For this example, we're going to go ahead and choose Parramatta. Pickup date, whatever the date you want to pick it up. I'm just going to randomly choose 16th and 17th is return. Always remember, it is a good idea to drop the car at the same time or say when you picked it up, because otherwise if you pick the car up in the morning and say you're dropping off on the next day at 5 p.m, it'll almost charge you for 2 days. So have a 24-hour window in case you want to have a perfect 1-day price. So that's all for now. That's it. If you have a discount code, just put a discount or promotional code. If not, we'll just go ahead and submit and it will show us whatever the card purchase is. Just click OK if you get any message. Now as you can see over here, there are two centers of Hertz. I'm just going to go ahead and choose downtown, and just telling you that there is a card surcharge. Okay, so here it is. So you can now go ahead and select whichever car you want. The availability of cars or the cars which you see will differ from the location which you have picked in, which you have chosen to pick up the car. In my experience, mostly there are more cars available if you're picking them up from the airport. I'm not, so I'm just going to go ahead and select this cheapest one, which is Suzuki Swift or similar. Uh, it shows Suzuki Swift or similar because it doesn't mean, so if you have say chosen Toyota Camry or say Swift in this case, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will give you the same car. It just means that the car will be of that size and that dimension which you have chosen. So it might be Micra, it might be Corolla, it might be Nissan, but it will be a small hatchback or sedan, whatever you have chosen. Now you can take extras if you have a child. You can have an infant seat, booster seat, or child seat. What these are is pretty explanatory, and it's there in the description, so just go ahead and see if you want them. Generally they cost $100 from the market, so if you're hiring a car for 4 or 5 days, it's better to buy these seats rather than hiring. But if it is just for one day, you can hire. Okay, so the second part, which is very important, is the covers. Accident access reduction. So if there is a damage to the car, whether it is from accident or scratch or whatever, depending on what kind of damage it is, there is an access amount which is associated with it. Like if you're a standard passenger, if you have hired a standard passenger vehicle like we have, it is 5,500. But if you buy this access reduction, it will get reduced. It's not showing how much it is right now, but I think that's the reason they're saying that you have to get this when you go and take the car. Maximum cover is the maximum waiver they can give. I think in Hertz it's 0, so it might have changed, but last time I got a car from Hertz, it was 0. So I always take maximum cover, especially if you're taking a car for just couple of days. And if you're taking for long time, then maybe access reduction is better. What this does is access reduction will reduce it from 5,500 to something like 700 or 800, depending on what kind of deal they have at that time. Maximum cover generally is 0, but always ask. In some cases maximum cover might still not be 0. So access of 5,500 might just be getting reduced to 100 or 200, but maximum cover is what I recommend if you are hiring a car just for a couple of days. You don't have to buy it now. You don't need to choose it now. All you need to do choose a seat or a GPS. These days everyone have phones, so GPS perhaps is not something which you need. And also for this toll, so in Sydney or NSW, everything is automated, so you don't need to buy a toll thing from them, because they charge around $12 to $20 for that as well. Use your phone and go to the RMS site. You can register a temporary vehicle and they just charge you $1 as convenience fee, and they will bill the toll charges to your credit card. So go that way. Don't buy anything from them other than the access. So let's go next. And next, pretty simple. You just need to go ahead and put your details and book the car. So it does say payment information. You don't need to put payment information in most of the car rentals in Australia. They do allow you to book the car without putting the payment details, and generally there is no cancellation fee as long as you cancel before the pickup date. So just go ahead and click next, and then reserve securely now. Once you do that, you will get this kind of an email which just tells you, I've just taken a screenshot, so it will just tell you when you booked the car, what was the timings. This is just an example which I booked for 7 days in December 2019. This is an old reservation which I had, and so that's all you need to do to book a car online. And then once you have booked it online, the next step is to go and collect the car.